Joining us in our studios is Aditi Mehta, the political editor for Business Standard newspaper. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. First up, there are a lot of people within the Third Front, political leaders who have very strong ambitions, let's say, political ambitions. So, is there a common cause to keep the BJP and Congress out enough to counter those ambitions?
Well, first of all, I think it's quite clear that the Third Front on its own, that is this conglomeration of 11 parties on their own, cannot form a government. They need some constructive help either from the BJP or from the Congress.
Yeah.
We have seen the circumstances in which the last government, where the 2004 experiment, where the left front had supported the Congress from the outside on the basis of a common minimum program.
Yeah.
Sort of collapsed as the date for the next general elections came closer, partly because there was there was no programmatic unity in the sense that we expected it to be, also because the bases of the two groups were clashing.
Exactly.
So now, for the purposes of simplicity or easier understanding, let's divide the Third Front into two sets of people. One which is the Third Front led by the left parties, and second the Third Front which is led by Mamata Banerjee. We have seen this also collapse because Mamata Banerjee did a deal with Mulayam Singh Yadav during the elections for the president, and that experiment came to naught. So if you have a Third Front L and a Third Front M, the Third Front L is definitely a bigger grouping, more influential and so on.
And certainly more cohesive, the left front.
Possibly, but they too have serious problems, and on their own they cannot form a government. They need the support of somebody from the outside. Similarly, Third Front M will not align with Third Front L. Because the Mamata Banerjee and the left front cannot coexist.
And we've seen that in West
grouping.
Bengal. Absolutely.
So frankly, I mean, it's a very brave attempt to forge unity of those who are opposed to dynastic politics as well as politics of Hindutva. But I'm really not sure where it's going to go until and unless they have the support from the outside of the Congress.
We were talking earlier, and you mentioned that while the political realities may not put these parties together for very long, there have been historically positives to a Third Front government.
Yes, they have learned to coexist, and on the basis of a common minimum program have learned to appreciate that liberty and democracy in India are prizes that you need to protect very zealously. But apart from that, you also don't have a supervening figure, one personality around which these people can then coalesce. So you had VP Singh, in
early 90s,
yes, 1986 to 89. You had also Deve Gowda and I.K. Gujral to some extent during that period. You also had Harkishan Singh Surjit, who put aside all other ambitions that his own grouping, his own left parties may have had, and agreed to support the Congress. Otherwise, a BJP government may have come to power. So there are, I mean, every time is a different time, and we don't know what numbers this election will bring. I think the most important thing to watch in the overall scenario is not the numbers that the BJP will get, but the numbers that the Congress will get. And whether in that situation they will be ready to support this group.
This Third Front. Aditi Mehta, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.